Specifically, as we know that currently indirect tax is such an area, and real estate being is a specific area which is really prone to litigation, because specifically there are a lot of indirect taxes which are applicable, be it a service tax, be it a VAT, be it a customs, excise. So whole lot of indirect taxes which are currently applicable on the real estate sector. So idea of today's presentation is to throw light on some of the legislative provisions of the relevant indirect tax laws. And also we'll touch upon some of the key drivers which are generally the basis on which the tax implications arise on the real estate sector. Starting with the legislative framework, currently as you are aware in the construction industry, service tax is currently applicable on most of the services, be it construction services, there's a works contract services, maintenance services already there, and there's many methodology for payment of taxes. There's a specifically abatement scheme which is there, where you are authorized to make payment at a reduced rate after availing certain credits. There's a composition scheme again, where you are entitled to pay tax at a lower rate after availing certain credits. And there's a third scheme where you are entitled to pay full tax and avail 100% credit. Similarly, in case of VAT, VAT being a state-specific law, there are a number of provisions and many methods for payment of taxes under the respective state VAT laws. Similar to service tax and VAT also, primarily there are 2-3 methods. One is the composition scheme, where you're entitled to make payment at the total value of the contract at a reduced rate, but in that case, you're not entitled to avail certain credits. And the other method is that where you pay tax on the total value of the contract, but you're entitled to 100% of the credits. Again, the choice of the scheme in terms of the credits, in terms of the value of material vis-a-vis the labor, because the thing is that VAT is applicable only on sale of goods and service tax only on the value of services. And VAT, if it depends, there's a composition scheme available in most of the states where the rate is 4%. In service tax also, there's a rate of 4.12% which is there, but it's very critical to understand and analyze what is the component of the value of material and goods in the contract to determine the exact tax implications. In terms of taxes, under the GST, they have proposed a rate of around 12 to 20%. Services in this sector would be very relevant. Services, they have proposed a rate of 16%. So there will be a drastic increase in the service tax rate, which is currently applicable at 10.3% to 16%. But again, under the GST law, there are a lot of credits which would be available. So impact of the GST under the real estate sector would be very important in terms of what credits would be available to have a seamless flow of credit chain, and in terms of what taxes you would be charging from the customer. Coming up to real estate, under the GST scenario, still there are a lot of issues under the indirect tax law, which is currently the industry is facing in terms of applicability of VAT on sale of flats, because when I'm making a sale of flats, one view possible is that I'm making a sale of immovable property. The second view on some of the legislative provisions and judicial pronouncement, the tax authorities are keen on taking a view that no, it's a kind of a works contract service and there's a transfer of property to the customer. So they're intending to levy a VAT even on sale of flats. So again, it is totally dependent upon the structure of the contracts. If the contract structure is in such a manner that it specifically talks about that you're ultimately selling an immovable property and there's no sale happening prior to commencement or prior to making a sale of the final flat, there should not be any VAT implication in that transaction.